Can we talk for a minute about our Integrating Heart and Mind workshop?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's coming up in the fall of 2024.
I'm so excited. We changed the format to make it more accessible to people with like work schedules and personal schedules. And so this time we're going to do it 3 hours on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, and 5 hours on Saturday for 2 different weeks in September.
Yeah, and it's so great. Like if you're finding yourself stuck in like sticky bad patterns or having communication issues or something like that, or if you want to just like get closer and trust yourself or your partner more, this is the workshop for you.
Yeah, and individuals are welcome, couples are welcome. If you're interested in really thinking through how to serve yourself well inside of your relationships, then we've built a workshop that will support you in finding the ways that are just right for you.
To sign up, head over to our website at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
We hope you'll join us.
Welcome to the Why Does My Partner podcast. I'm Jules.
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Rebecca. We're your hosts. We're also couples therapists and messy humans bumbling through our own relationships every day.
We met at a training, and our secret sauce is that we and our partners became fast friends.
Between us, we have more than 40 years of experience holding hard relational questions with our clients.
We're going to bring those questions here, and together, we're going to take a stab at answering those questions.
This podcast is not a substitute for couples therapy. If something you hear in this podcast stirs something deep within you about your relationship, reach out to a couples therapist in your area.
We'd also love to hear your questions, so don't forget to go over to whydoesmypartner.com to leave a question of your own. Here's today's question. Why does my partner beat themselves up in front of me when I have an issue with their behavior? This tacks right on to last week's question.
It really does. What happened?
So it's not funny at all, but I'm laughing because it's me, because I have a story in my head. Totally. I have a story in my head that says everything I do is wrong. So if he brings something up, I'm like, well, here we go again. What else did I do that was wrong?
I also am this partner. Me too.
Yeah, I think I probably am too.
If I am in not a good space, you know what I'm going to do? If I'm not like in a space where I have the bandwidth to U-turn in that moment. And I used to do this a lot more. It used to be really, really bad. Now it's not nearly as terrible. I'll ask Adam later on when my husband does listen to these episodes. I will ask him later on if I'm right that it's less bad. I think it's less bad. I have the experience internally less. I don't know if he has it differently than I do. But anyway, if he tells me something that's not going great between us, if I am not in a good space, I am the partner who's going to go, great, I do everything wrong. Just go ahead and add it to the list, babe. I get it. And I'm likely to be in a shame pit of tearful hell for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to start breathing and going, I'm so sorry. That was not okay.
Oh, wow. You can pull yourself out of it fast.
I try to. I did not used to be able to, but I've worked on it a lot. And I try to even sometimes I can do it even within 30 seconds where I can go, hold on, and breathe through that moment and like try to pull myself out of it. Yeah.
But I have not worked on it at all. I am the first to admit that.
I'm holding you with so much love there as I acknowledge that the work that I've done is letting me like meet it and witness it when it's happening.
Wow.
So that I can witness it and I can like, it's almost like I could like, sweetie, something doesn't feel good inside. Can we just like pause so I can digest this? What is it that you're saying?
Yeah.
It takes so much freaking work.
Yeah,
Right?
and on a good day, I can do it like that. And on a bad day, I'm going to shame pit for a minute, and then I'm going to pull myself out. And on
or for an hour, or for 2 days.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Totally. And I'm thinking about in years past, it would have been just like permanent.
Totally.
Feeling. Well, that's what it felt like.
Totally.
On the inside. Oh, got it. I'm just not good at that. Got it. Check.
Yeah.
I'm just not good enough in that way. Check.
But here's the thing. When we go there, this is, I think, just like important to know. When we go into beating ourselves up in front of our partners when they have an issue with our behavior, what is it that we're actually doing? Can we talk about that for a minute? Can we talk to all these fun little parts of ourselves who think it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'm the bad one. Like, can we have a conversation directly with these parts for a minute?
I don't want to.
I
I'm
say
just
yes.
gonna love you
I
from
say
over
yes
here. You
to
don't
your-
have to listen. It's okay. You don't have to listen. We're talking to everyone else.
I say yes to this invitation. I am here for it. I am even with, like, I can feel a little echo of the like it's like a fiery sort of floody sort of feeling that's kind of in the center and kind of in the in your back body. Yeah.
When it comes up for me, you know, I have parts of me that also think I'm the shit and I'm like, I know it all. And the parts that beat myself up in these moments don't actually feel so different than some of those other more grandiose parts.
Well, I think there is grandiosity in it. Let's say this. There's an enormous amount of self-centeredness in it.
Yes. Of navel gazing.
Yeah.
Right. So the second that I move into that space of like, oh no, I'm a shit, I have now stopped paying attention to his hurt.
To whatever your partner brings up as an issue with your behavior.
In fact, by the way, I am basically begging him to take care of me instead of me taking care of him. Uh-oh.
Yep.
And I get that this comes from old self-protection, right? I get that at some other point in some other relationships in my life, that me doing this did pause the damage. It made it less terrible. So I don't have any judgment towards these ones that come up and know how to protect myself in this way and have an expectation, right? That it's going to be the same now as it was then, even though it won't be, right? I get that that's why they're here and there is that expectation and are expecting some sort of like character assault or evisceration to happen. And so I get where it's coming from. And when it comes to me actually moving into listening to and moving into remorse, like we were talking about last episode, woohoo! I gotta help contain and take care of these parts of me that are so worried about it going this badly and trying to protect me in this way. Because actually what's happening is I'm about to drop my partner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what just happened for you there, Vic?
That's just such a sweet image of, it's not going to sound sweet when I repeat it, but it hit me as sweet that I'm about to drop my partner.
Yeah.
Like, Jules, you said I haven't known you for that many years, but I remember you having this metaphor years ago of like throwing a baby, like your inner children, but like you just threw the baby at your partner and didn't tell him that you were throwing it at him. And I think that's what I saw when you said, I just dropped my partner, is that he just was throwing his baby self at you and you just dropped him. And so that's a very, it's a sweet and sad metaphor at the same time, because I don't want to drop him.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to hold him when he hands him to me.
Totally. But when we beat ourselves up in front of our partners, when they bring us something that doesn't feel good and ouchy, and we turn it around and we beat ourselves up, that's exactly what we're doing.
Right.
Yeah. We are dropping them. And by the way, we're also throwing our little one at them. Oh no, it hurts me that I hurt you. Here, take care of me now.
Right.
Whoops. I won't hold your baby. You hold my baby.
Now we have two babies not being held.
Now everybody's a baby. Wait a second. Shit.
Right. So we're back to talking about the thing that we talk about when we're talking about communication. Can I make this explicit?
Please.
Yes, please.
We're talking about unintegrated brains again.
Right.
What?
And
we can't talk about hard things when we're not in integrated brain states. It's really
You know what
freaking hard.
You know what I'm hoping is that some of you out there are very intrigued by this integrated brain state and how do I learn about mine? And I'm hoping that some of you will join us for our integrating mind and heart workshop, because in that we're going to help you build your own map of how exactly you know where your brain integration is and how to respond to it when it's in those less integrated states. We want you to have plans that are actionable, practices to take home with you. Because the truth is that when it comes to this, it is a little bit individual.
Yeah.
Right? Not even a little bit. It's actually a lot of bit individual.
It's a lot.
So we need to like slow down and create our own map and create a lot of curiosity around how are we going to find our tells for our different levels of integration. And then once you know what those are, what do you do to meet these less integrated states really well? And what do you do to take care of your partner if indeed your brain just needs to stay unintegrated for a minute? Because sometimes that's true.
You know, I think it's so important to know what these tells are and to learn how to kind of witness ourselves, which is so much what we are teaching in this workshop. Recently, James and I got into some argument. I don't even remember what it was about, but I do remember little details. Like I remember that he was in the mode of going to do something, and I was in the mode of wanting or of seeking some kind of connection from him. I don't remember the rest of the details, but he was moving towards something and I was seeking connection. And my desire to seek connection trumped his going to do something. And he went into I can't care for you enough. And I went into, I shouldn't have asked for the care.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, you both went into the thing.
We both did the thing. And
now
then
you're beating
this cool thing.
yourselves up in front of each other?
Oh, totally.
Oh,
right?
Sweet one.
And then, but then here's the cool thing. So he goes to do the thing and I sat with it for like, I don't know, a minute, literally. And then I went back into the other room that he was in and I was like, do you know what we just did? That was really
awesome.
Interesting. Can we talk about that? Here's what the experience was like in me. What was it like in you? And like met it with that curiosity, both internally and with him. And the whole conversation shifted. But that's like, that's skills work there. That's having time in the seat of doing the skills work, of being able to recognize, there's that pattern. I know that pattern. That pattern comes up for us. That pattern makes sense. Of course, that would put us both in that place.
And did you give him your theory of where he went as well? Or did he give you that when you brought the conversation?
He gave it to me. I didn't make guesses about him.
Okay.
I witnessed enough of it that I saw him going into his place.
Yeah.
And I kind of went like, whoa, wait, hold on. That's not where I was asking him to go. I'm going into another place. What's happening here?
Wow.
And it's what's happening here? Like something feels tweaky. It doesn't quite feel right. It feels kind of tweaky. That's giving me like enough insight to go like, hold on, wait, look at this different. That's the thing that's shifting in me. I'm having more of those moments now. It's not that I'm not having the others. Yeah. What's happening here? Because this feels both familiar and not right.
Yeah. So for those who feel like this question is like you and very familiar, if you're on the side that beats yourself up, pause and wonder if you just dropped your partner. And if you're on the side of receiving that energy, one, know that there may be some old stuff going on. There may be some difficulty moving into remorse. There may be some avoidance of that grief state. Sure. And also, how you got hurt is important. Feel free to say it again.
And I want to add one more thing in here. You could pick up these babies. You could pick up the babies. Like just because you threw them at each other and dropped them, they're still there waiting for care.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Don't forget to go back, try to pick up the baby. You can pick up your own baby. You don't have to wait for your partner to pick up your baby.
Pick up your baby. Just start there. Take care, you all. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That wraps up this week's episode. Join us again next week for another Why Does My Partner? We hope that you continue to listen wherever you get your audio and that you'll follow the show. To go deeper, join us at one of our workshops. You'll find our next date at whydoesmypartner.com.
Did you know you can ask us your questions? Your questions are relational gold. Go to whydoesmypartner.com to either write in or record your question for a future episode.
And here are some gratitudes. Thanks to Al Hoberman, our sound editor and podcast production magic maker, our audio intern, Cole Rickman, and to every one of you who has joined us for our workshops in the past. We've learned so much from all of you.
If you're enjoying these conversations, please subscribe, rate, and especially please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.
Thanks so much for listening to Why Does My Partner? Take care of each other best you can.
See you next time.